Hello, baseball fans. King Ikeboo coming to you live from the new, deeper underground bunker, where today we are going to play some more best of the 80s, best and worst of the 80s, immense mother of all projects, 1983. We are in the last week of the season, and we are going to play some Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees in the final week of 1983. As you can see here, the Boston Red Sox have a record of 75 and 81. The Yankees are 75 and 80. And would a broadcast ever be made between these two teams? Well, of course it would. These are the rival of rivals. However, when one is in 6th place and one is in 7th place in a 7-team division, why would we play this at all? Well, it's a huge series. For one, of course, if you've been following along, this, of course, a man by the name of Wade Boggs. With 6 games left in the season, here are the up-to-date stats for Wade Boggs' 400 run. Going into this series, he has had 660 plate appearances, 4 home runs, 83 RBIs, batting .406. On base, 482 and 527 slugging. And as I wrote here, I don't have to tell you baseball historians out there that the last time someone batted over 400 in a season was 42 years before, 1941, Ted Williams. He batted .406 for the season, and he has been following. He has left his fishing boat and is following along the Red Sox. As they traveled from place to place, he's getting grumpy, but now here in the last week, he sees the point, as Wade Boggs is still at .406, threatening to bat 400 for the first time in 42 years, and how special it would be if someone from his fellow Boston Red Sox team would do it. And as I say here, Boggs is batting .378 in September, numbers any batter would be thrilled with. However, for Boggs, these numbers have done nothing but drag his batting average down from the .412 average that he had at the start of the month. That is the first reason why this is a big series. The second reason is none other than Jim Rice. He has 10 homers so far in September, and he is currently sitting at 49 home runs and has 6 games left to get number 50. And if he can manage 3 more home runs in these 6 games, which he is definitely on pace to do, he will tie the replay home run record of 52 home runs set by Mike Schmidt in 1951. And the third reason why this is a huge series is the anti-American League pennant race. The Yankees begin this series a half game ahead of Boston in the race to stay out of the anti-postseason. The postseason no one wants a part of. The team that finishes last will have to face the Seattle Mariners and will be desperate to meet the M's 4 times in order to avoid the anti-World Series and the possible stigma of being named the worst major league team of 1983. That's why a series between the Red Sox and the Yankees, with the Yankees in 6th and the Red Sox in 7th, is a huge series for those 3 reasons. Well, we're playing the 3rd game today here on YouTube, and the first game was, we're going to do a recap of the first 2 games, Bruce Hurst versus Matt Keogh. Hurst came into this game 3-8 and 13, .363. Decent rating, decent performance, at least ERA-wise. He hasn't got any run support, so he's only 8 and 13. He's been one of the better pitchers on the Red Sox staff this season, and he will face Matt Keogh, who recently came over from the Oakland A's and has really been horrible. 5-9, .582. Now, for you that aren't familiar with King Ikeboo rules here in this best and worst of the 80s replay, the relievers available in this series, because there were so few used in the real series, there are very few relievers available. You can see here that Mark Clear pitched twice in the 1st and 3rd games, and Stanley pitched in the 3rd. So those are the only 2 relievers available. For the Yankees, only Frazier pitched in Game 1. Nobody pitched in Game 2, and nobody pitched in Game 3. So all there's available is Frazier. So please do not wonder why I do not use all the pitchers like today. Go 3 innings with a starter and then go bring in 15 relievers. It's not available. They're not available. The only 2, Clear's available twice, Stanley's available once, Frazier's available once, and Goose Gossage is available only in a closing situation. So please take note of that. Well, in game 1, in the first at-bat, Boggs walked, and then Rice hit into a double play. But here in the 4th inning, Boggs singled, so his average jumped up to 407, and then Jim Rice hit number 50 in his second at-bat of the game 1. He is now at 50 for 1983. He only hit 39 in real 1983, but here in the replay, he's hit 50. A 2-run blast, and he's just only 2 behind 1981 Schmidt. 2-0 Boston. Then in the 6th inning, once again, Boggs gets up, and he gets another base hit. He's up to 408. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. And then Jim Rice, supernova hot Jim Rice, hits another bomb. His second of the game at number 51. He doesn't need 6 games to reach Schmidt. He's only 1 behind. And he has 5 RBIs today, which means he passes Cecil Cooper for the Major League lead of 140 RBIs. And Cecil Cooper has held the Major League lead in RBIs since mid-May. And finally now, here in the last week of the season, Jim Rice has caught him and passed him in the Major League RBI race. Then in the 8th inning, Boggs is up again. For the 4th time. He walked the first time, so his 3rd at bat, and he drives in 2 runs with a double. He's 3 for 3 with a walk and is now batting giddy up 409 for the season. And then Rice gets another hit. So right now, at the moment, this is Jim Rice's stat line: 288, 51 homers, 141 RBIs as he drove in the 9th Red Sox run here in the 8th inning. So today's hero at the end of the game, by King Ikeboo rules, we have to overlook the great days of Boggs and Rice and give the award to Bruce Hurst and his marvelous mustache that he had in 82 when this picture was taken, because they take the pictures of the baseball cards in 82 for the 83 season. So the award goes to Bruce Hurst for the complete game shutout, his second of the year. He allowed 9 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts in an 8-0. Well, yeah, he scores here. So yeah, that's 8. There was 5 here, 6, 7, 8. So 8-0 Red Sox victory in game 1. And here, Boggs 3 for 4. He's batting 409. Jim Rice 3 for 4, 6 RBIs and 2 home runs in game 1 to blast the Yankees at Yankee Stadium and move out of last place and a half game ahead of the Yankees in that desperate, passionate race to get out of last place and avoid the anti-postseason. Then we go to game 2. Game 2 is Bobby Ojeda, who is 9-9, 371 versus Shane Raleigh, 12-9, 386. And I make the comment here, there's 5 games left. Boggs is at 409. I almost wish that he would be benched. That would ensure that he would bat over 400 for the season, but we know that great hitters never want the day off. So here's his stats at the beginning of this game, game 2 of this series. He's batting 409 with 4 homers and 85 RBIs and 665 plate appearances. So here in the first inning, look at what happens. Jerry Remy singles to lead off the ball game, and then Wade Boggs steps up, and what does he do? He hits a home run, his 5th home run of the season, and more importantly, it's another hit, which means he is now batting 410. And unlike all the other games, Rice grounds out. He does not respond. He does not match the Wade Boggs' performance here in the first inning. And then that's all we're going to talk about. But let me summarize this. The player of the game is none other than our man Wade Boggs, because He went in this second game, for the second straight game, he went 3 for 4 with a walk. This time with a homer and 2 RBIs, and is now batting .411 with 4 games left in the season. As the Yankees, it's much closer this time, but they win 6-3 here in Game 2. And you can see here, Wade Boggs 3 for 4 with a walk. He has 2 RBIs. He has 1 run scored, and he's batting .411 with 4 games remaining. Other homers in the game, Tony Armas, Wade Boggs, of course, and Dave Winfield hit number 40 for the Yankees. And he drove in 2 of the 3 Yankee runs, but it was not enough as the Red Sox are now a game and a half ahead of the Yankees to avoid last place. And now here is Game 3, the game that we're going to broadcast today, knowing that Wade Boggs is batting .411, knowing that Jim Rice has 51 home runs and is 1 short of the replay record set in 1981 by Mike Schmidt, and knowing that the Red Sox are guaranteed to leave New York at least a half a game ahead of the Yankees, but they could be 2.5 games ahead of the Yankees with a win today with only 3 games left, and that would pretty much ensure that the Yankees would finish last and will have to face the Seattle Mariners in the Anti-American League Championship Series. See, Clear is available today because he pitched yesterday's ball game, got the save in 2.2 innings, and got his ERA finally below 6. Good job, Mark Clear. And George Frazier was used. He went 3 innings and did not give up a run to hold the Red Sox in place. But that means there's no relievers available in this game unless it's a bomb the ninth and Goose Gossage is called on in a save situation. So don't ask, why doesn't he take Ron Guidry out of the game? He cannot take Ron Guidry out of the game. John Tudor does have some relievers available. Mark Clear is available, and Bob Stanley, who has not appeared, is also available. Clear has 11 innings left in the season with only 4 games left, so he should finish below his real life. That's the goal. And Bob Stanley has 8 innings left, so he should finish below his real life total as well. So all that yapping, let's get this game underway. Let's get to the right ball game here. My system crashed. I don't know, it seems like it's crashing a lot lately, and I'm scared, but hopefully it won't crash here. I don't know if it means I need a new laptop or what. It'd be a big pain. Isn't that a pain to have to change laptops and have to call Skeetersoft and say, hey, I have a new computer, and he's got to send me codes, and the same for replay and all these other games, Inside Sports. It's just such a hassle. But, that's one thing I love about Steam. You don't have to do that. All the games are on Steam. You go to a new computer. Steam is kind of the copy protection, whatever. So, but they, I guess, aren't on Steam, so they have to use their own copy protection. And it makes it a hassle if you have to get a new computer. But anyway, I know I'm talking to the choir right now about that. We all felt the frustration of that. But let's get this game underway. Here it is. Here is the lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Let's look at the standings. You can see here that the Red Sox are up 1.5 games over New York and want to stay there and keep the Yankees in last place. And there's Seattle waiting. They're wondering, where are we going to go for the Anti-American League Championships? Are we going to Boston or we're going to New York? Right now they're sitting in Hartford, waiting. Whether they're going north or south, they're not sure yet, but they're waiting. Actually, the season's not over. They're still at home. They have to face the White Sox to finish the season, but you know what I'm talking about. They're going to be sitting in Hartford waiting. Anyway, you can see the up-to-date standings. The Toronto Blue Jays have clinched the American League East Championships, and they did so just sitting on their butts as the Milwaukee Brewers got swept by the Cleveland Indians, and that is what gave the Toronto Blue Jays the championship, and they sent a nice big fruit basket over to Cleveland in thanks. But the 2 division championships, the pennants are not yet sorted or determined in the National League. Montreal has a 3.5 game lead. So more than likely, unless there's a huge collapse with 6 games left, Montreal should be in the driver's seat to finally defeat the Cardinals. If you want to know what we're going to probably play, hopefully, play some of these games or on YouTube. We shall see. These next 3 games, the Expos go to St. Louis. So basically, the Cardinals have to sweep the Expos. If they sweep the Expos, they will. Then we'll have it's anybody's game. But this is going to be a very crucial series coming up. And then if you look at St. Louis, they have. There must be a unplayed game. So if there's a half game plus or minus at the end of the season, we're going to have to find out which of these extra games was rained out or something. We're going to have to find it and we're going to have to play it. We can't have a team winning by half game. There's no way we can do that. And then in the Western Division, we see that Atlanta and Houston are in a dead heat. Perfectly tied with 6 games left. And if you look at the standings, the schedule maker couldn't have done any better, as the next series, well, not the next one, but coming up here, we have the Astros and the Braves from Houston. I don't know why this should be gone. I mean, I guess I didn't take it off. Well, we're not going to worry about that now. We're playing something else. We're playing this series right here. So let's look at the lineup for your Boston Red Sox. Leading off and playing second base, Jerry Remy. Batting second, the third baseman, the man of the hour, the man of the season, Wade Boggs, batting .411, playing third base. Batting third, the man of power in left field, Jim Rice. Batting fourth, the DH, Carl Yastrzemski. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Reed Nichols. His name wasn't coming to me. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Dave Stapleton. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Stan Urach. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Rick Miller. Batting ninth, the catcher, Jeff Newman. And the pitcher today, John Tudor. For the New York Yankees, here at home in Yankee Stadium, leading off and playing second base, Willie Randolph. Batting second, the first baseman, Ken Griffey Sr. Batting third, the left fielder today, Dave Winfield. Batting fourth, the DH, Don Baylor. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Craig Nettles. Batting sixth, the right fielder today, playing right field, Don Mattingly. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Bobby Meacham. Batting eighth, the catcher, Rick Cerrone. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Omar Marino. And the starting pitcher, Ron Guidry. And Ron Guidry is the only pitcher in 1983 that has this particular rating, Q0. Q0 means it's the reason why the Yankees aren't in that much trouble when you look at no relievers available, because Q0 means he can easily go 9 innings today. It is the best rating for endurance. And I doubt very much if you looked at a 2018-2019 version of Skeetersoft, I'd be willing to bet my new bunker that there's nobody with a Q0 rating. I'm just going out on a limb there, because today pitchers rarely go past 6 innings on the mound. Anyway, let's get this game underway. Jerry Remy is leading off. He's batting .284, .325 on base percentage, no homers, and 40 RBIs. And finally, after how much time, we're going to roll our first roll of the day. Here it is a flyout, and that brings up Wade Boggs. Okay, we're going to take a few screenshots here. First of all, we're going to take Boggs. I like to take... what am I doing here? There we go. I gotta get the date in there. Come on, so you know what day it is. Bam. We got Wade Boggs. This is Wade Boggs as he goes into this game. And we also forgot to take a screenshot of Guidry. That's what I do at the beginning also, so we can see the pitcher. There's one batter underway. It's not totally accurate, but it's pretty close. It's only one batter into the game. Okay, there's Guidry. And I go versus and highlight that. And I just make it bigger because I like big stuff, you know. We all like big. There we go. Versus is big. So, looking at Boggs, he's also on an 8-game hitting streak. His season's best is 20 games. But he's batting, here you see it. Read it and weep. anti-Boggs fans. How could you not be cheering for Boggs? I think no matter who is batting 400, you hope he does it, right? It could be an axe murderer that is batting 400 and you say, hey, I hope he does it, So for sure, we want Boggs to do it. And he's in looking good shape. Only 4 games left and he's batting 411. Let's say, okay, so let's look at his, I'm just curious cat, right? Let's look at his stats. And we're going to Boston. Oh, that's Cleveland. Okay, Boston. And Boggs, so he has got 238 hits and 579. So let's say that he goes into a horrible funk for the last 4 games. Let's say he is 0 for his next 16. Okay? So that's 4 games, 4 at bats, 16. So that would mean that he has 579 plus, I guess numbers lock would be nice, 579 plus 16, 595, okay? So 238 divided by 595. Even if Boggs goes 0 for 16, then he'll still bat 400. It'll be just 400 on the nose, but it would still be 400. Unless, so we got to hope that he gets at least 1 hit in the next 4 games to ensure that he will bat 400 for this season. And here we go right now. Will he get the hit right now or will he go into a funk? Let's see. He gets a base hit, so it's a guaranteed. He rolls double 6s. So this should guarantee that he's going to bat 400. Have you ever done a season replay out there? People in YouTube land, any of you within the sound of my voice, have you done any full season replay where you played all the games and had someone bat 400? Well, I can go to my grave and say, yes, I have. Wade Boggs, I think that pretty much guarantees it. We just figured it out, right? He has got 1 hit. He should finish over 400, even if it's just 401. But he gets a double and is on second base for Jim Rice. There's Jim Rice batting 287 with 51 homers and 142 RBIs. So here is Jim Rice. He wants to get 52. Here is the roll. He rolls a 54. That's not a home run, but he could reach on an error if you roll 11 or 12 and roll 41. So fly out to right field and the runner on second holds. And also we're celebrating while we're playing a Yankee game. We're kind of celebrating the fact yesterday's game, I don't know if you saw it, with Altuve's homer in the blast in the American League Championship 2019 Game 6. What an incredible game that was. LeMahieu tied it at 4 in the top of the 9th. And how disappointing that was. It just went over Springer's glove by inches for a desperate catch at the wall. And then Altuve hits one to the moon. I mean, they didn't talk about how far that one went. It hit the wall. It didn't go into the Crawford boxes. It hit the wall, the back of where the train was. I mean, way back there. What a blast. That was no cheapie there to win the American League Championship. That was incredible. It was kind of a disappointing year. Baseball was down. People were down on baseball, but this postseason, I really hope that it really brings people's interest back because it's been incredible, been exciting. The games have been great. I haven't been as this excited about baseball since the Cubs won in 2016, really. So that's great. I'm glad to see having a great, some great press for a change. Anyway, here's Boggs, 2 out here in the top of the first. Yastrzemski batting 241, 11 homers, 50 RBIs. And he flies out, so no runs, 1 hit, and no errors in the first inning. Here is Willie Randolph. He's batting 346, 412 on base percentage. And that's what he does. He gets on base in front of the big boys. And still, the Yankees are in last place. So I just like saying that. Yankees are in last place. Anyway, here's Randolph. He flies out the left. Here's Ken Griffey Sr., 293, 1468. Rolls a 1-5. It's a base hit. He has a chance at as a stolen base if he rolls 11, 12, or 13. There's no way he can be thrown out. That's what the end means. So, but he doesn't get the stolen base. He stays at first and brings up Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield is playing way over his head than he did in real life. Like I said, Winfield only had 32 homers in 1983, but he's batting .317, .371, .585, which is way above his real life numbers, has 40 homers and 116 RBIs. So when the Yankees are playing the Mariners in the anti-American League Championship, cross your fingers, they will not be able to point to Dave Winfield and say, it's because of you. I mean, he's done everything possible to get his team out of last place. It's really been a lot of pitching and nobody around him that's really doing much offensively. Anyway, here he is, Winfield. He rolls a 5-4. He flies out to right. Runner holds for 2 out for Don Baylor. Don Baylor, .276, 12 homers, 58 RBIs. And he strikes out. After 1 inning, it's scoreless. Here's Reed Nichols. He's batting .250 with 3 homers and 24 RBIs. He gets a 6-4 and strikes out. Strikeout number 1 for Guidry. Guidry is 12 and 14, .376. Not very good. But he's their ace. When your ace is below 500, you know that things aren't good. Here's Stapleton, .237, 15 homers, 71 RBIs. And he's holding first base for Bill Buckner, who will show up next season. Here is the roll. He gets double 5 base hit. He is on base. He is an S. We do not hold the S runners until there's 2 out. Here's Ed Urak. Did I say Stan? I think I said Stan. But there is a Stan Urak, isn't it? Or Jurak. I don't know how you pronounce it. To me, where I'm from, it'd be Urak. But it's Ed. There must be a Stan. Let's see. Am I crazy? Stan Urik? Is there a Stan Urik? Maybe no. Maybe I'm just out to lunch here. Stan Urik? That's Ed. So I don't know why I called him Stan. He seems like a Stan, I guess. Anyway, it's Ed Urak. And here's the man on first, Stapleton. Here's the roll. And nothing happened there because it's not the highlighted window. So I got to click this. And he strikes out. Strikeout number 2 for Guidry. Rick Miller. Now we put on the brakes. Put on the brakes. We don't. It just seems that they always try to go to third and get thrown out when they're an S. And he gets a base hit. See? S runner out at third. But I put on the brakes so it saves him. Jeff Newman is up. He's batting .181. Come on, use Gedman. He's much better. 5 homers, 11 RBIs. Here's the roll. And he fouls out to the catcher. That ends the inning. Here are the Yankees. Greg Nettles, .248, 1756. His last season with the Yankees. He will go to the Padres next season. And he gets double 3s. So the Yankees are threatening here in the second inning. 52 is just a single. So Nettles is on first. Here's Mattingly. He's batting .255 with 5 homers and 28 RBIs. Here's the roll. He strikes out. Strikeout number 2 for Tudor. Here's Bobby Meacham, just beginning his career with the Yankees. Batting .219 with no homers and 1 RBI. Just a September call-up. Here's the roll. He gets a base hit. See, if it was 2 outs, that's what this asterisk means. It'd be S runner out of third. That's why I always put the brakes on with 2 out and not really bother with 1 out or nobody out. So now there's 2 men on. Both are slow runners for Rick Cerrone, batting .224, no homers and 13 RBI. Here's the roll. Tudor pitches to Cerrone. He gets double 1s. And it's a 42, which could be a possible home run. It's at least a double, but could be a homer. Roll 11 to 14, or 24, sorry. And he gets over, so it's 56. So it's not a home run, but it is a double. However, the runner at first is thrown out at home, 7-6-2, and the lead is 1-0 Yankees. Cerrone at second, and Omar Marino, who was mostly known for being with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but now is with the Yankees for the end of 1983 season. He's batting .238 with no homers and 38 RBIs. A lot of guys with no homers this season, which makes someone like Jim Rice's feat of 51 so much more amazing. But out there in right field, who is it? Rick Miller, who's noted for being a great defensive player. He drops the ball. The runner at second scores, and the runner reaches. So it's now 2-0 Yankees. And Marino's going to go try for a steal and gets a steal, as that was his greatest quality was his space stealing and his speed. So he is on second, threatening now for the Yankees to go up 3-0 with a base hit from Randolph. Here's the pitch to Randolph. Possible error, no error, and the inning's over. But the Yankees score 2 runs in the second inning, and it's 2-0, as they want to get only half game and make this really a race again for the last place in the American League East. Here's the Red Sox, Jerry Remy. He is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field first time up. Here's the pitch, and he strikes out. Strikeout number 3 for Guidry. And here's our man Boggs, 1 for 1 with a double. We already determined that he's up to 412, and we already determined, now, of course, it's not, it's possible that he gets more than 16 at-bats in the last 4 games. I mean, if he's up, 5 times in a game, so he could still not bat 400. It's possible, but let's hope we don't have to worry about that with some more base hits. And he gets another hit. The man is a machine in this series. What is he now? He is 8 for 10 in this series. He's batting 800 in this series so far. And he's on base again for Jim Rice. No wonder he has 142 RBIs, because Boggs is always on base ahead of him. Here's Jim Rice. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field first time up. He is looking for that 52nd homer. And he doesn't get it here. Oh, but he gets another crack at it because it's just ball. Because, see, it should have been a walk, but that powerful Z took a walk and just gave him a ball. But he does get another roll, which is a good thing. Here it is, going for that double 1 or double 6. That's what we want. Oh, close, 1-2, but that's the worst possible roll. But he avoids the double play. Boggs is out at second, and Rice beats it out with some hustle down the first baseline. And he will not try to steal because there's no benefit. He has no chance of getting a stolen base, so he will just hold. And with 2 out, we're going to put the brakes on Rice. Say, no way, you're going to third base. Here's Yastrzemski. He flew out to left field first time up, and he strikes out. Strikeout number 4, I believe, for Guidry. Yes, it is. So he's off to a good start. Tudor's not off to a great start because he's getting up 2 runs. He's 16 and 11, 3. So he's been very good, and yet for some reason they trade him. I don't know. He should have kept him. I've talked about this before. I'm sorry if you heard it before, but I believe if they would have kept John Tudor on the Red Sox, and who else did they trade? They traded somebody to the Mets. I forget who. Somebody. But anyway, if they would have kept John Tudor, they would have won the 86 World Series. That's what I'm going to say that forever, but I believe that to be true. Here is Griffey. Flies out Winfield, and a base hit to Baylor. He's not going to try to steal. So a man on first with 2 out for Greg Nettles. He has singled and scored. And he flies out. So it's still 2-0 after 3 innings. Here is Reed Nichols. Sometime we're going to bring in who's eligible in this series. Some of these guys we're going to bring in. Okay, they didn't bring anybody there, but I know that Tony Armas is available. So at some point we're going to bring in Tony Armas. And is there a shortstop available that's better than Urak? Hey, Dwight Evans is eligible. Gedman's eligible. So we got to bring these guys in. But you have to go 5 innings. Everybody's got to play as is. But these guys are eligible to bring in sometime in this game. Here's Nichols. 1-2, the worst roll. And he grounds out to second. Dave Stapleton. He's singled. One of the 4 Red Sox hits. Boggs has 2 of them. Stapleton has 1. And who else has a hit? Rick Miller who made the error. 1-6 ground out to short. Ed Urak. And he grounds out. So 1-2-3 go the Red Sox after 3.5. 2-0 Yankees. Here's Mattingly. Struck out first time up. One of the 2 strikeouts for Tudor today. And he strikes out again. Here's Bobby Meacham. And there's a possible error. And he pops out to shortstop Urak. And there's 2 away. And it's Rick Cerrone. He gets a base hit. So he's got the S. So we even hold the Yankees. Yes, we do. We played both ways. Here's Marino. He had a big error and stole a base that scored a run in the second inning. And he pops out. That's it. 4 innings complete. 2-0 Yankees. Rick Miller's up 1 for 1. And he gets another hit, and he reaches second on the error by, who is it? Mattingly. Yes, he doesn't belong there. He should be on first base. I don't know why. Why don't we just switch him? I mean, Griffey is a right fielder by trade. He's much, well, maybe not. He's not better, but Mattingly's got to be better at first base. Well, I guess it doesn't make any difference. So we are a little bit better. So we're going to switch him back. I guess I could have just looked. I'm trying to place, both teams. That's what you have to do in this game. You have to manage both teams. I just didn't understand why they had Griffey, who's an outfielder, playing first base, but he wasn't very good, I guess. He's getting older. Anyway, man on second base, nobody out for Jeff Newman. It's the 5th inning. If this was the 6th inning, I'd bring in Gedman. But it's still the 5th, so Newman's got a bat for himself. He popped out to the catcher first time up. Here's the pitch. 2-1, fly out to left, runner holds. I don't think anybody would get a hit on it. 2-1. So there's 1 out for Jerry Remy. And guess who's on deck? Yes, he is, Mr. Boggs. He's already 2 for 2. Here is Remy. Remy gets a possible error, doesn't have an error. Miller goes to third with 2 out. And here comes Boggs. He's now batting .413 on the season. Amazing. He has double. And he's hit a single. He homered last game, not today. Here is the pitch to Wade Boggs. And he flies out, so he's 2 for 3. And the inning's over. So after halfway through this game, it's 2-0 Yankees. Here's Tudor to Willie Randolph. He's flied out to left and flied out to center. And he gets a base hit. He's going to try to steal. Does not steal. Does not get the jump. Here's Griffey. Singled and flied out to left. And he gets double sixes. 51 is a home run for Ken Griffey Sr. That is home run number 12, I believe. No, it's number 15 on the season for Senior. Of course, they didn't call him Senior then because Ken Griffey Jr. was just an 8-year-old kid probably about this time. No, maybe a little bit older, 10. He was 18 in like 1989. 18 or 19. So he's probably about 13 years old at this point. Still, I'm sure the scouts have noticed him. Let's put it that way. Here's Winfield. He is flied out to right twice. 4-0 Yankees. 3-2 ground out. Baylor flies out to right and Nettles flies out. But the damage is done on the 2-run homer by Ken Griffey Sr., and it's 4-0 Yankees. Can the Red Sox come back? Now we're in the 6th inning, so we can start to bring guys in. And you can tell the Red Sox are just, playing out the string here in the season because it means nothing. But because they're playing all these guys, Newman, Urak, Nichols batting 5th. I mean, come on. Who made this lineup anyway? Where's Armas? Where's Dewey Evans? But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. Here's Jim Rice. He is 0 for 2. And he's 0 for 3 as he strikes out. Yastrzemski. Possible error. Does not have an error. 0 for 2 or 0 for 3 today. And here's Nichols. And he gets the double threes. 12. That's not going to be a homer. It's just a base hit. So with a man on first, here's Dave Stapleton. Let's see what he can do. He has 15 homers this season. Let's see if he can get another one. And he gets double threes, so we have a possible home run. Let's see. 53. That is a 6. That is no home run. Let's hope that they get a run, though. They do. So Nichols scores from first and Stapleton doubles. So the Red Sox are on the board 4-1. Here's Ed Not Stan Urak. And here is the roll to Urach. And he strikes out to end the inning. But after 5.5 innings, it's 4-1 Yankees. Tudor's still going strong. Here's Mattingly. 1-2 ground out. Meacham. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 4 for Tudor. Rick Cerrone flies out. So through 6 complete, 4-1 Yankees. Guidry with that Q0 is still going strong. He goes all the way. He doesn't tire until the 9th inning, and he allows 2 base runners in the 9th inning. That's the power of the Q0 rating. It's a rating everybody wants, but so few get. Here's Rick Miller. He is reached twice, 2 for 2, and the second time he got the second on an error. And I believe he scored. No, that was Nichols that scored. Anyway, here's Miller, and he flies out. Jeff Newman, okay. We said we'd take him out of the game, and that's what we'll do. We'll bring in my man, Rich Gedman. I just love that guy for some reason. I don't know. I just love this swing. He always had that backswing that you thought would hit the catcher, that huge backswing. But here he goes. Here's Gedman. He's batting .271 with 3 homers and 18 RBIs. Only 216 plate appearances. I don't know why they didn't. Well, they will in the next couple of years make him the full-time catcher. Here's the pitch to Gedman. He gets a base hit. So he's on base. He's not fast, though. And it brings up Jerry Remy with Boggs on deck. Here is the roll to Remy. Remy's 0 for 3. Flied out to left, struck out, and flied to center. And 2-6 is not going to do it. Almost got an error, but he hits into a double play to end the inning. So it's still 4-1 Yankees. Here's Marino. Marino gets a base hit. He's going to try to steal. He does steal it. How many stolen bases does Marino have this season? I know in that 1979 season, when the Pirates won, he had over 70. This season he has 39, so plus the 2 today, he has 41 steals. Pretty good for an old man. Here's Randolph with a man in scoring position. He's already driven in a run. No, is this a drive? I always forget this. Is check mark driving in a run, or is it, well, you can just look here. Randolph, no, he scored a run. Check mark is score a run, asterisk is drive in a run. It's a new feature. I'm not used to it yet. Anyway, Randolph. And he gets a base hit and scores the 5th Yankee run. He's going to try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. 5-1 Yankees here in the 7th inning. And Tudor is tired. So we're going to bring it in. We're going to take him out and bring in Clear. Clear pitched well yesterday. Let's see if he can pitch well again. He's given up 93 hits in 84 innings, 49 walks, and 67 strikeouts. That's this WW. It's a horrible thing to put on a pitcher. Let's see, what was the real Clear's ERA? Yeah, it was high anyway. So he's doing better than he did in real life, ERA-wise. Here's Ken Griffey. He homered last time, but this time he flies out to center. Runner holds. 1 away for Big Dave Winfield. And he hits into a double play at the end of the inning. But the Yankees tack on another run. After 7, it's 5-1 Yankees. And here is Boggs. Boggs is 2 for 3. He's batting .412. Let's get a hit, Boggs. Doesn't. Grounds out to the third baseman, Nettles. So he's 2 for 4 today. And looks like that'd probably be his last at bat, unless this goes into extra innings or something. Here's Rice. Hasn't done nothing today after all this build-up. 0 for 3. And he's 0 for 4 as he strikes out. Yastrzemski. He strikes out. Brings up Clears on the mound for 2nd inning. Don Baylor is up. Baylor is 1 for 3. Strike or grounds out. Nettles. Home run, Craig Nettles. That is home run number 18 for Nettles, and it's 6-1 Yankees. So it looks like the Yankees and the Red Sox are going back to a half game between each other for that not so coveted last place and anti-World Series or anti-American League Championship berth. Here's Mattingly. He is 0 for 3. Struck out twice. Flies out this time. And Bobby Meacham gets a walk. And look at this. You gotta like this. 11-62 is a steal And 63 up is just no jump. That you want to try stealing. And he gets a steal on the last possible number, 62. There he is at second base. Rick Cerone is up. He has doubled, drove in a run, and scored a run, and singled today. He's having a good day, is Rick Cerone. And he grounds out. Go to the top of the ninth. Guidry is still going strong. It's 6-1 Yankees. Last hope for the Red Sox. Nichols, he is 1 for 3. And he rolls a 6-5, which is a possible error, and he fouls out to the third baseman. Dave Stapleton, he is 2 for 3. And he grounds out. Last chance, Stan, Ed, whatever you want to call him, Urak. And he grounds out, and that is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your box score. Boggs went 2 for 4, so he's still batting .412. With only 3 games left, I think that pretty much does it. He will bat .400. How exciting is that? I did not think when I started this project, how many years? 4 years ago? It was on Remembrance Day here in Canada. That's November the 11th. 2015 is when I started this. When I started that, I did not envision that I would have a 400 hitter, but I do. Mr. Wade Boggs. So good to see. Anyway, here's your box score. The Yankees do win it 6-1. So we will save this game. We'll show you the up-to-date standings. We save it in here. We put home 0-9-29. Red Sox managed just 1 run. The Yankees score 6. So that is the final score. Mark Clear does not get anything. And do you want to include it? Sure. Just because of Boggs, we want to include it. And here are the up-to-date standings. So it's only a half game between these two teams going into the last weekend of the season. We will show you who plays who. The Yankees have a 4-game series with the Baltimore Orioles. So we will put a check mark here to mark this as we played the game. So we got Count Montefusco versus Storm Davis, Jay Haub versus Jim Palmer, Bob Shirley versus Scott McGregor, and Shane Raleigh versus Mike Boddicker. They have a doubleheader tomorrow. 4 games for the Red Sox. They play the Indians. Now you say, well, that is a cakewalk. But Skeetersoft loves the Indians. They always play better than they did in real life. You can see they just swept the Milwaukee Brewers. They're on a, so they're 82-77 when in real life, what were they at this point? Look here. In real life, the Indians were last place, 69-90. But Skeetersoft loves the Tribe, and therefore they're 82-77, doing much better. And Rick Sutcliffe has 22 wins. So he's the reason, one of the main reasons why the Indians are doing so well. So it's no cakewalk. But if I had to choose, I guess I would rather choose playing the Tribe than playing the Baltimore Orioles, even though they are underperforming huge. They're the ones who won the World Series in 1983 in real life, but they are in 4th place, albeit, very tight 4th place in the American League East. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed bringing it to you. Now that I'm moved, I should be able to make more videos and here in this new bunker. But I'm glad to talk to you again, and I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. The final score, once again, the New York Yankees 6 and the Boston Red Sox 1. This is King Ikeboo signing off. Goodbye, everybody.